What if you don't need to live in pain and suffering? What if you could give up your karma and have a life of abundance and joy? What if you could start creating magic and miracles that you never thought were possible? Get ready to listen, share, and experience the magic that is you. Now, here's the host of Creating Abundance with Ease radio show, Dr. Helen Gitlevich.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease, and today our show is Money as a Tool for Change. I am a medical doctor who actually quit my private practice quite a few years ago and became Akashic Records teacher, Access Consciousness facilitator, uh, guest host, and also author. I always, all my life, I was searching for tools to change your life. And now that I have all those tools and more, I invite people to different possibilities with money, relationship, health, and I do private sessions and classes around the world. So today we're talking about money as a tool for change. And let me ask you a few questions. How much are you desiring money, and yet money is still an issue and a problem? Are you looking for money to solve your problems? What if you could get money much easier just by changing your points of view, perspective? Let's talk about money as a tool for change and not as a problem solving tool. Because for me, it's interesting because I've been extremely poor and I've been maybe not a millionaire, but I've been quite wealthy. When I was married, I had a pretty big house, almost like you could call a mansion. And I also was struggling with money when I came over from Russia. I was born in Russia. And in Russia, everybody is poor except the government and a few people like underground millionaires. But I grew up in a family where my mom was a doctor. My dad couldn't work, and they actually got divorced when I was 5 years old. I grew up with grandparents because mom had to work and kind of like support not just me and her, but also grandparents. And in Russia, doctors don't make much money. It was equivalent to $120 a month, which at that time was not a whole lot. Basically, struggling. We came to the state not so much because of money, but more about the future and possibility of me becoming a doctor, because that was my dream. And with when we came, no language. I went to college. Mom was studying for her tests for the medical license, so nobody was working. Basically, we were on welfare, which I'm very grateful at that time. But there were points in my life where all I had was just money for the bus or the subway. And then I grew up, of course, and became a doctor and got married. Both of us were making decent money and we bought a mansion. Did it bring happiness? Not so much. I mean, we were happy on and off, but the house itself did not. And after divorce, I went to a tiny little town home and then we got remarried and so on and so forth. So I would be almost like on a roller coaster of having money, not having money, having somewhat comfortable living, barely making the ends meet, or being in debt. I remember after my second divorce, where I was married to a drug addict, I was in debt over $70,000, not working because I had open heart surgery, unable to work. So all of that kind of prepared me to look at money not as something tangible, more like energy. Energy comes, energy goes. It's what you choose to do with that and how you choose to interact with money, because money has consciousness. Close your eyes for a second and just look at your situation with money. Where do you see yourself kind of like losing money, wasting money? And where is money contribution in your life? Where is that you actually interact with money as consciousness? It might be this lifetime or other lifetimes. Don't limit yourself just to this lifetime. And ask, money, what would it take to have you and have ease with you? Allow yourself to pull money into your life. And now look at your points of view about money. Were you able to pull the money in, or there was something in your subconscious or even conscious mind that tells you, oh, no, 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 money is evil, money is bad, money is dirty? And all of those points of view, are they truly yours? Are they actually something that creates for you? And is it actually true? Because there is so much lie about money. All of it, to me, and it's my interesting point of view, all those points of view are just to control people, to tell them not to have money. So only few who know the secrets will have it. What if you will be the few that know the secrets? That money is not dirty, money is just money. It's just like it's a tool. Just like think of it, think of knife. Is knife bad because people use knives to kill people? What are you using in the kitchen? You're using knives, aren't you? You're cutting vegetables, bread, you're cutting meat, you're cooking with that. Is it bad? You cut your finger because you were not careful. Is that knife's fault? Maybe even cut your finger. Yeah. Is it because of the knife or because somebody was holding the knife and using it inappropriately or appropriately? Maybe somebody is defending their lives or defending the family and using a knife to kill or protect. Again, it's not knife's fault. It's the person who is holding the knife. Same with money. If somebody is using money for evil, is it money's fault or is it the person is evil? So all of that kind of created almost like tangle, not almost tangles of points of view that create that almost like a net that holds people in a cage. And some of those threads are almost like ropes that's not allowing people to choose freely, to choose to have money. So let's play a little game. I like playing games on my show, as you know. I'm going to ask questions and you'll think of what comes up as an answer. So, what does money mean to you? And I know for a lot of people, it might mean freedom, it might be evil, it might be paying the bills. Would you be willing to let it go? What if all of that is just interesting point of view? And we've talked about interesting point of view too in our show pretty much every time, I would say, or every other time. But interesting point of view is about allowance. It's about not having a point of view. Even if you decided that it is a right point of view and correct point of view, what if it's just a point of view? If you remember in the Bible, Bible or some other stories, there is a story of three blind sages or mages. I'm not sure who they were, but they come to an elephant and they're blind, so they cannot see the whole picture. They cannot see the elephant. So one comes to his leg, and people ask them to describe, what does the elephant look like? Oh, it's like a big column. The other one is holding the tail. It's like, no, 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 it's like a snake. It's long, it's thin. The other one is like, no, it's like a wall. It's a big wall because it's kind of like there. He was holding the body of the elephant. So it depends where we're looking at, from which point of view we are actually looking at the situation. We get that. It doesn't mean it's wrong. It's just one of the points of view. If you change your perspective, you'll be looking from a different point of view, but it's still a point of view. It's tiny. You're looking through a pinhole of reality as a whole. You don't see the whole picture if you have one point of view. So for that, it's very helpful to kind of look from one point of view, from another point of view, and then change, and look from another point of view. Just like they tell you, it's like look from another person's point of view and see where they're coming from. That's exactly what it is. So what if money has a point of view as well? They don't, but their point of view, let's have fun. That's all they care about. Let's have joy. Doesn't matter what joy looks like. Because for some people, killing might be joy, and money don't have a point of view about it. But what if people become more conscious and choose having fun by being conscious, by creating more, by contributing to Earth? Let me ask you a question. Can you change the world more with money or without money? And with that question, I'm going to leave you to ponder upon, because it's our first break of the show. And you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Are you a subject matter expert? Are you here to share your expertise with an audience waiting to hear from you in only the way you can deliver? Are you ready to have your voice amplified across the airwaves? Inspired Choices Network has a global radio platform streaming to millions of people across the world. Professionally produced and supported by an accomplished team every step of the way, you can broadcast from anywhere in the world, knowing your voice matters, and we ensure it is delivered with ease and efficiency. Eager to hear your message, the world awaits. Contact us today to become an Inspired Choices Network radio host. Email become a host at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is money as a tool for change. And I left you with a question before we went on the break. Can you change the world more with money or without? To me, if you have money, you can change the world. And you would say, oh, all those people who have money, they don't, or they change it for the worse. But let me ask you, what would you do if you had $100 million right now? Let's say you won a lottery, or somebody gave you this money, or you inherited it. Doesn't matter. You got $100 million in your checking account. What would you do with that? You might buy a house, you might pay your bills, all of that. Probably will take 50,000, maybe a million, maybe 5 million. You still have 95 million to spend. And by the way, I forgot to mention, it's actually every year it will be replenished. So 100 millions or more. So can you imagine how much can you clear pollution, create kind of like have people not hungry, educate people, how much you can actually change the world, maybe even stop wars, because a lot of wars are because of money or power. Would you choose power or would you choose consciousness? This is about literally changing the world if you have money. Not a little bit, but a lot. So the only thing that I know, or the only one that I know that stops people from having money is themselves. Like I always stop myself from having money. And it usually my point of view. Projections, expectations, judgments, and conclusions, those are the ones, the fears. I've done creative visualization for many years. I'm talking about I was searching for ways to improve my life ever since I was a child. Ever since at 6, I had out of body experience and experienced that oneness, which was something that words cannot describe. It's that feeling of everything is okay, pretty much taken care of, all of that. And I was searching for that feeling, for that being, space of being, actually, that I found out. It's being who we are and connecting with the whole universe. So I've done yoga, I've done creative visualization, I've done Reiki, I'm Reiki Master as well. So under all my titles, there is a lot of titles, including medical doctor, associate in fine arts, um, published author, 3-day body facilitator, certified facilitator, Akashic Record teacher, consultant, and founder of school. So there is a lot of titles. But does it actually describe me? No. Those actually they do describe me, but it's not me. Those are descriptions of me. Those are the places where I went to prove that I deserve, where I went to kind of like achieve the goals, achieve the targets that this world values. so I can be an expert in the field. And I always went all the way. If I liked something, I would go all the way. Except Reiki, I didn't go to the teacher training because I like just playing with the energy. I wasn't keen on teaching it. But with Access, yeah, I went all the way to pretty much almost the highest, well, actually the highest certification, because not only I'm certified facilitator, I'm also Symphony Advanced Practitioner with a lot of classes under my belt. But anyway, this is not about it. This is about the choice that we make. And with creative, I like creative visualization, and a lot of people use it, vision boards and meditation, and I've done it a lot. It's somewhat limiting, but it works. But it gives me a way to explain for people who know about creative visualization. It's very simple. Anything we can visualize, we get. Anything we ask for, we get. But the problem with that, it's not just what we desire, because a lot of times we visualize our fears, something we don't desire. Everywhere where we concentrated on something, that's what we create. If we are afraid to have no money, guess what we're creating? No money. If we are afraid that we have so many bills to pay and not enough money, guess what we create more? Money or bills? Bills. And the bills keep coming. It's really because the tools of access consciousness are amazing. It was founded by Gary Douglas and co-founded with Dr. Dane here. The tools, they're amazing because you look at how you create your life. Everyone creates their life from points of view. Any point of view you have creates your life, but also everywhere where you have a problem, there is underneath that usually a point of view that created it. So in Access, we kind of like try to clear all the points of view because we never know if it's a good one or bad one. Think of it as a spring. If you have the spring on both ends, kind of like tied to the walls and it's stretched, it's there, right? If you cut one part, it's still attached to another wall. So it's still there. And you cannot not see it, it's still there. So the only way is cut both ends, positive and negative, good and bad, because we have those polarities that keeps us in that point of view stuck. To get unstuck, it's letting go of everything. I had a client who had the point of view that money destroyed her relationship, which was not true. Her husband was just choosing something different, had nothing to do with money. But a lot of times people tie money to the problems. And instead of looking, okay, here's a problem, they look at like, oh, money caused it. Money never caused anything. They're just money. It's just like looking at the chair. Let's say somebody sits on a chair and a chair breaks and the person falls down and injures themselves. Is that the fault of the chair? Probably not. Probably the person did not look that the chair was maybe faulty, maybe it was too small for that size, and so on and so forth. This is about being aware what creates more. It's the points of view. And if we have a point of view, we cannot see beyond that. If we have a point of view that money creates problems, guess what money will start doing? Because money has consciousness. And they like that puppy. Oh, you want me to bring your slippers? Here they are. Oh, you want me to bring problems? Here they are. Money are happy. They don't care what you want or what you fear. To them, it's all desires. There is a famous joke, which I love to tell because it illustrates how the universe works. A man is sitting on the bus and thinking, I have stupid kids. My wife is a bitch. My boss is an asshole. I don't have money. And behind him sits an angel. And he writes things down. Okay, wife a bitch. No money. Boss is an asshole. Interesting wishes he has. Why does he do that? Why is he asking for it? Okay, but that's not my place to judge. We'll make it happen. Universe does not distinguish between our fears and our desires. It's all the same because universe does not have point of view. Money don't have any point of view. Molecules don't have any point of view. Think of the world, our planet, nature, trees, birds. Do they have any point of view? They probably look at certain um, in certain way and they see certain things. But do they actually have a point of view? Because if they don't like something, they'll move. Yesterday, my backyard was visited by a red fox. It was such a gorgeous creature. Amazing, beautiful. It was laying in the sun and enjoying the view. Um, when I looked out of the window, he looked at me and but didn't change his point of view. He still was looking at me. When I walked away, he looked somewhere else. He lay down and closed his eyes. And then there was a bird. A robin was walking on the grass. So the fox got up and was looking at the bird. It was much prettier view to look at the bird than at my house. And the bird looked at the fox and decided, meh, probably not the best view. I'm not in the mood to be eaten today. And flew away. And the fox looked at the spot where the bird was and lay down and closed its eyes. It was such an amazing picture to see how the universe works. What would a person do? The person probably would have gone to that spot where the bird was and was looking for the bird, and maybe the bird will come back and then get upset that he didn't get the bird, and then get upset about he or she got upset because the bird flew away, and oh, I should have jumped and maybe I could have catch the bird. Wow, it just dawned on me. That was the message from yesterday. So cool. That's how we learn, by talking, by kind of like explaining the stories. And um, the moral of the story will come after the break. It's time for our second break of the show. And you've been listening to myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Creating Abundance with Ease radio show on Inspired Choices Network. And we'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
Magic and abundance are everywhere. What if you could tap into abundance and start creating your life with complete and total ease? Working with Dr. Helen Gitlevich will give you exactly that, total ease in creating abundance in your life. Dr. Gitlevich creates classes all over the world, both in person and online. She works with you to create abundance with your money, with your body, with your relationships, with all areas of your life with total ease. Connect with Dr. Helen Gitlevich at creatingabundancewithease.com. Her contribution in your world will be a noticeable gift in a very short period of time.
How wonderful would it be to carry your favorite Inspired Choices Network host with you throughout your day? Well, now you can. Inspired Choices Network now has its very own mobile app. Our free app offers live streaming shows, along with thousands of podcasts and TV episodes. Our shows cover a wide variety of topics. Whether you're waking up with us, carrying us through the day, and taking us to bed with you, we're always here for you to enjoy. We're easy to find. Just search for Inspired Choices Network in the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is money as a tool for change. And you've heard and seen the commercial. We have an app that you can listen to anytime. Recordings, we have all the show. And I believe today's my 100th show, including the video shows. So how does it get any better than that? And how appropriate is money as a tool for change is today? And before we went on the break, I was talking about Red Fox. What a beautiful creature, but I didn't realize the message he was giving. Because this morning I was a little upset about things I did not do on Friday that created a little bit different result than I expected. And of course, things I should have done this, I should have said this, and I puck and podded. And puck and pod meaning use the clearing statement from Access Consciousness, and you can find out more on theclearingstatement.com. And of course, I was okay, but now I realize nature does not have the past. Like with a fox, he didn't get the bird. Probably missed his lunch, his dinner. But he wasn't upset. He was very happy and content, laying in the sun. Okay, didn't get the bird. Fine, he'll get the next one. It's about ease, joy, and glory. Access has a mantra. All of life comes to me with ease, joy, and glory. And if we say it 10 times in the morning, 10 times at night, things change. And I know when I didn't say it, a lot of times things started kind of like slow, and I have to push through, and that's not fun. Much more fun is just ease, joy, and glory, just like the fox showed. He was just enjoying the sun, and when the time comes, he'll get the bird. Maybe the bird comes to him. It's so amazing. And the fox didn't get upset about not getting it, or didn't judge itself. It totally didn't judge itself that it didn't get the bird. And how often do we judge it? And that's actually what stops our money flow. Anytime when we judge ourselves, anytime when we kind of like go into that energy of wrongness or even rightness, because both are judgment. When we're trying to prove how right we are, or to prove that the other person is wrong, or trying to prove that we are not wrong, all of that is like moving through the muck. There is no fluidity in that. Everything is solid. It's like a poop piles. So how many poop piles do you have with all those points of view you have? All those, I'm talking about judgments. Yours, somebody else's, and by the way, 99% of your judgments are not even yours. But you pick it up all along. Kind of like, to me, I like visuals. So it's just like you're walking and you're seeing a poop pile, but you think there might be gold in that. Somebody told you that there might be a pearl in a pile of poop. So you're like collecting all those piles of poop, come home and start looking through them, or put them somewhere safe. So maybe when they dry up, when the time comes, the pearls or gold will show itself. Well, let me tell you, those are just piles of poop. There is nothing there. All you can do is just flush them down the toilet or not pick them up. Seriously, next time you walk by somebody and somebody gives you a point of view, look at them and say thank you. Maybe not aloud, but say, it's an interesting point of view you have. I had a friend many years ago, and she used to trying to prove how right she was. And I started doing access. So I learned interesting point of view. So she was trying to prove something. I don't even remember what it was. That's how important that was. And I looked at her and I'm like, it's interesting. And she's like, you really think so? I'm like, yeah, of course it's interesting. And it stopped the argument. Next time, same thing, a different point of view. And I'm like, yeah, it's an interesting point of view. After about 3 or 4 months, she caught on. She's like, you're just saying that. You're not agreeing with me. It's like, no, I'm not agreeing with you, but it's an interesting point of view that you have it. But you always argue and prove your point of view. I'm like, yeah, but that's not important right now. It's not important to prove your point of view because it's not relevant. How relevant is proving something to somebody that is not interested in your point of view anyway? Because a lot of people are not interested in your point of view. They just there for something. If it's somebody you're dating, oh, they're interested in sex. If it's somebody trying to get your business, they're probably interested in your money. So they're not interested in your point of view anyway. So what's the point? No pun intended, or was it? Anyway, so with money, it's the same thing. How much are you obsessing about money that you lost 10 years ago, or you didn't gain, or did something, or spent, or somebody else stole it from you? What if it's not relevant today? Ask. Is it relevant today? Or what's relevant? And what if by asking that question, you can ask another one? What would it take for me to get money right away? What can I do or be different to receive money? Because question creates, choice creates, awareness creates more choices, and you can choose more. I'll give you a little secret about money. And I found out it's so true. When we are happy, truly happy, joyful, and it has nothing to do with what's going on around us, money comes. Years ago, I was doing, I think it was Phoenix Rising Yoga. That's what it was called. So we were doing yoga and then meditation, and then we were doing some other stuff, which was fun. And we were playing with Osho tarot cards. And they're a little different than regular tarot cards because you can meditate with them. And the card I got, I don't remember the name of it because I haven't used them in years, but it was three women dancing in the rain, or I would say storm. And it hit me because in that moment, my choice of emotions and feelings, if the storm was upon me, would be to hide, to kind of like avoid all the problems. Because, I mean, let's face it, storm is the problems. It's kind of like, uh, what is it, analogy, call it whatever you want, but, and instead of just being happy, no matter what, because happiness is just a choice. The funniest thing, that was the smallest class in Access Consciousness history. It was facilitated by Gary Douglas and Dr. Dane Hare, both of them. And that was, instead of like hundreds of people, it had 10 people in a class. I just started Access. I did not choose that either. Now I probably would have, or not, who knows? But it was interesting how we are not choosing happiness. And a lot of times in my life, I found if I started getting happy, I would screw this up. There were points of view that I had, I didn't deserve happiness, or no, that's too much. Other people are not happy. How can I be happy? This is not cognitive thoughts, by the way. Let me tell you, has nothing to do with what you think, because if you could logically look at that, it's like, come on, I don't have those thoughts. Those are sitting in subconscious where you're not even aware that they are there. They come up when we start questioning and looking at what underneath the problems. And I invite you to have your bars run or go to bars classes foundation where we actually can change things, or Akashic Records classes. All of those look at the subconscious belief system, which stops us from having money, from allowing ourselves to be who we are, stops us from happiness, and allows us to be abused, gaslighted, and in a situation where might not be of benefit to us. And this is time for our third and final break of the show. I know time flies, and you've been listening to Creating Abundance with Ease with myself, Dr. Helen Gitlevich, on Inspired Choices Network. We'll be right back.
Many of us live our lives based on karma, on the past, and all the unfinished business in our lives. What would you choose if you did not have karma, or if you could choose what you desired instead? By tuning into Creating Abundance with Ease radio show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich, you'll receive tools and inspiration you can use to create the abundance in your life. You are an infinite being with infinite choices. Are you ready to have ease with creating abundance? Listen for Creating Abundance with Ease radio show every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com.
This is the Creating Abundance with Ease show with Dr. Helen Gitlevich. To participate in the program, Join our live studio audience in our chat room at inspiredchoicesnetwork.com. You can also make the choice to ask or comment by email by sending to helen.g@att.net. Now, back to the program.
Welcome forward, everyone. I'm Dr. Helen Gitlevich on Creating Abundance with Ease. And today our show topic is money as a tool for change. It's about choosing more for you, but it also choosing more for the world. Because look at the world right now. There is a war going on in Israel. There is COVID in a lot of countries, still there, still on lockdown. And the world is opening up. But the fear is the one that's driving the social isolation, the war, and everything else. And the markets are not stable and all of that. So people are afraid. And what happens? They start losing money. Because fear is the one that money does not like. They run away from fear. So what if we don't have to be fearful? What if we can actually choose happiness? As I was talking before we went on a break, happiness is just a choice. It's about choosing your emotions, feelings. And yes, if feelings come up, a lot of people, but I cannot deal with my feelings. First of all, how much of those feelings are actually yours? What if 99% of feelings and emotions are not yours? What if you ask, who does that belong to? And keep asking it until it starts going away. Because think of it right now. How many people are afraid? How many people are in debt? How many people don't have money? How many people are fearful for their jobs? How many people don't have a job or lost their job because of whatever, COVID or any other situations? It's devastating in the world right now. What can we, each one of us, do? Change ourselves. There is amazing, amazing book, Being You Changing the World by Dr. Dane Hare. And right now, today, he just launched another book, Body Whispering. And with Body Whispering, right now it's at $2.99 on Kindle. You can purchase it on Amazon. So just today, tomorrow it goes to regular price. I'm not sure what it is, $25, $35. But anyway, all of that, all of those tools tell us that when we are us, things change around us. The world changes. Sometimes even weather changes. I know when I'm happy, a lot of times sunshine comes out, even if they said that there would be rain. But then even rain doesn't bother me as much when I'm happy. Because there's an expression in Russian, the weather, uh, nature does not have a bad weather. It's just weather. It's so we go through cycles, and it's not a wrongness. Even if we are not happy, what if it's about choosing something different? Because yesterday I woke up and I was perceiving so much kind of like anger and fear, and it was uncomfortable. And I asked, who does this belong to? And it took me probably about 10 or 15 times asking that question and letting it go until I felt myself. Because somewhere I did pick up those emotions, or maybe there was something vibrationally compatible. Somewhere there was a point of view that I wasn't happy. But we can change anything. And the more happy we are, the more we can invite money for a change. Next week, we will be talking about bodies, body and spirit, and the relationship between them, and how much we disregard body in view of spirit, or disregard the spirit with the body. So, with everything that's going on in the world, body is the one actually that needs money. Body is the one that uses clothes, food, and that's where money is required. So you can also ask body, what would it take for us to create more money? So all those tools are access consciousness. And you can find out more on accessconsciousness.com. You can find out more on my webpage, Creating Abundance with Ease. On my link tree, I have a lot of links that goes to my social media, Instagram, Facebook. And tomorrow I'm doing a free workshop on Date with Your Body. We'll be talking about how is our relationship with body can change and how much ease we can have with the body. I'm also going to Guatemala next week, where I'll be doing 3-day body class as well as 1-day Wealth with Akashic Records class. We're not going to be learning how to open the records, but we will be learning some tools that Akashic Records uses, like prayers, meditation, and grace points. And you can find out more on my website, Creating Abundance with Ease, under Akashic Records classes. And it's going to be 1-day class with lots of tools, with a manual, and spirit driven, where we'll look at wealth. Money is part of wealth, where we can change that. And no knowledge of Akashic Records required. If you had prior Akashic Records, might be helpful, might not, but it's open to anyone, no prerequisites. Body class does have prerequisites, bars and foundation, and other classes as the world opens up. There is an England class I will be doing right across the street from Hyde Park in Columbia Hotel, a 3-day body class at the end of June. If the trend continues and England will open up. I do have my tickets, but they are changeable and we might change the dates. But those classes are probably will be in. Taiwan class has been moved to July, or might be even postponed even more because they just had few cases of COVID again. So just keep tuned. Next week, we'll be together again with body and spirit as a topic. And I hope you will start using the tools that we were talking about. For this week, try out who does it belong to and an interesting point of view for every thought, feeling, and emotion. See if it will change anything in your world. See if it creates any ease, joy. And the more ease and joy and glory you have, money will come. Money likes ease, joy, and glory. And just keep asking it to show up. And you can just ask, money come, money come, money come, money come. What would that create in your life if you actually start receiving money instead of not having it? Love you all. The show is ending now, but as I said, I'll be back next week. And have a wonderful week until I see you again. Bye bye.
Thank you for choosing to listen to Creating Abundance with Ease radio show. Dr. Helen Gitlevich will return next Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Mountain, and 9 a.m. Pacific on InspiredChoicesNetwork.com. We hope you'll join us. Until then, have fun using the tools of the week in your life and start creating magic in your life and your body.